Today we're going to talk about the CEH, the Certified Ethical Hacker Certification. We're going to ask some easy questions. We're going to ask some easy questions for you to fall asleep to. Relaxing questions. Questions that aren't hard, but will help you as you fall asleep and learn and retain the information. Question 1. What's the difference between a vulnerability scan and a penetration test? A vulnerability scan is automated, but a penetration test is when hopefully you, as a certified ethical hacker, are testing and finding exploits in your client's software. If you run a website, you've seen vulnerability scans executed against your website for sure. Question 2. What's a SYN flood attack? A SYN flood is a type of denial to service. I'm sure you know what a denial of service is. It's anything that interrupts service for a user. The attacker sends a flood of TCP packets to a victim, and the victim server can't handle all of the packets. Resources are exhausted and the server crashes. Yay if you're a hacker. Boo if you're the victim. Bonus is that a SYN flood is a transport layer, layer 4 attack on the OSA model. what's the difference between symmetric encryption and asymmetric encryption? Symmetric is when the same key encrypts and decrypts. Asymmetric is a public-private key pair. So you encrypt with the public key, and only the owner of the private key can decrypt it, at least hopefully so. Question 5, or no wait, I think we're at 4. I hope we're at 4. What is session hijacking? Session hijacking is when an attacker is able to steal the session value for a victim and use it to impersonate the victim. It's very dangerous and can completely overtake a user's account. When developers keep keys in or session values in cookies and the cookie can be stolen, an attacker is able to use that cookie to then pretend or impersonate the victim user. So why cookies should be set to HTTPS only. password, Cracky? A rainbow table is like a list of pre-hashed passwords. So an attacker can destroy those list of hashed passwords to guess your password. So if you have password 123 as your password, it might be in a rainbow table. Developers use salts to protect against this type of thing because a salt will change the value of the hash. Also remember that hashes are one way. They're not the same as encryption and decryption. I think we're on question 6 now. Question number 6. What is a man in the middle attack? And what protocol is used to help stop it? attacker intercepts the data sent from your machine to the server. It's completely invisible to the user, so they have no idea. Neither does the server you're communicating with. The attacker can read the data if it's not encrypted. So we use SSL, SSSL, TLS, TLS and SSL, TLS and SSL. As a side note, there is such a thing as a downgrade attack. It's important that servers only accept secure TLS SSL versions. On to question number 7. What's the difference between IDS and IPS? IDS is intrusion detection. IPS is intrusion prevention. Prevention actively blocks an attacker. Detection just detects it and lets somebody know. Prevention is way more active. Like when the system detects that you're doing a no-no, it immediately will block your IP, block your device, stop you from doing the action. So you link your MAC address, the physical address, to the IP address. So ARP poisoning tricks the network into thinking the attacker's IP or MAC address is the default gateway for your machine. So now your machine is sending and routing all its data through the attacker's machine. AKA a man in the middle. It only works on the same subnet because it's using the attacker's machine as the default gateway. So it's layer 2 of the OSI model. And now we have our very last question. The last question is, what's the difference between white box, gray box, and black box testing? White box testing is when a penetration tester has the code, usually goes through the code and identifies issues, exploits, vulnerabilities from the code. Black box is an attacker is testing based off what an attacker would see. They have no idea about the code or the setup, so they just hack blindly, just like an attacker. And gray box is kind of a combination of the two. White box seems to be the most fun. You get to see the code. Maybe make yourself feel a little better if you don't like your own code. And that's it for our ASMR, Hacker ASMR for the CEH. I hope I helped you fall asleep while learning. If you've made it this far, please subscribe